Alright, yo, what's up? This is Nathaniel. I'm your host of Lasco Projects. This is not skateboard related. We might talk about a little bit of skateboarding, but it's more about WFE. These two guys right here, we're Fireteam Ever.
Fireteam.
I'll put descriptions and all that IG stuff, Instagram stuff in the descriptions so you can check them out. But this is Arthur and Craig.
What's up?
Yeah, what's up? I appreciate them for, coming to see me, and me coming to see them. And anyways, we'll get down to the nitty gritty of questions. How'd you guys get into games and all that stuff?
Alright, for me, personally, for games, first console I played was Nintendo 64.
No, just tell them the truth. Because Steve was playing games.
Nintendo 64.
Oh, playing with you?
Because Steve was playing games. You jumped in.
I jumped in.
Yeah. He's like, oh my god, he's playing, I'm playing too.
Yeah,
exactly.
Whatever, yeah. So Steve was playing Destiny and Bobby, and then I joined their party. I weaseled my way in.
But now you're a team member, we love you.
Whatever, jeez, Greg. But yeah, that's kind of how I joined WFE.
Okay.
And then, so for me with WFE, the way that started was because Bob, Steve, and Griffin were playing, and Steve, they needed a fourth, or we would try to do raids together.
Okay.
So Steve was like, you got to get on and play with me. I already had the game on PlayStation, but I had no friends on PlayStation. It was like me and a comedian and one other friend. So I got it for Xbox and we started playing like nonstop. But you know, I mean, we've been gaming forever. I mean, I've been gaming since NES days, all that stuff. So I mean, and you know, we love games. That's our thing.
I think the first game I gamed was with Nintendo.
Yep.
I was just right when I got that at Christmas time. I couldn't believe that I had it, and I was playing Mario Brothers, and that shit was, I don't know. I think Mario Brothers was like the greatest thing I've ever seen. So.
Yeah.
It was like, dude, I was like, dude, what is this? This is amazing.
I was always bummed out because you know you always had your neighborhood friends and kids around your neighborhood. My one friend down the street got the first NES package. His dad bought him, and it had like Rob the Robot and it had the Zapper, and I was like, Dad, I really need this. You know what I mean? And like my dad was like, I'm not gonna pay. It was like $100. Like my dad was always cheap back then. He's like, I'm not gonna get you a $100 system. So literally, I had to wait. My dad always did this to me. I always had to wait like 2 years after everybody else had it.
And then you would get it on sale.
Yeah, like
that was kind of like the way I was getting stuff because my parents couldn't afford shit. So
yeah, see, well, and that's the thing. My parents weren't broke, but they treated me like they were broke. So it was like. I didn't get that shit until way later. But that being said, like once I got it, I was in love. But actually, I gotta be fair. Before that, my dad I thought was the coolest guy ever because when me and my sister were really young, I came into the living room of our house and there was an Atari 5200 in a box.
Oh gee.
And I was like, oh my god, we got the, you know, I didn't even know what it was, but it just looked cool. And so we hooked it up and I played all these terrible games like Jungle Hunt, Galaxian, which they're great games, but they were like terrible back then. But what happened was like I thought for years I thought my dad was so cool, like when he got us this, it turns out it was a gift from somebody he worked with. Had just been like, here, this is for you and your family. So
it worked out.
It worked out, but I mean that was my first like real big system that like I got into because we always knew kids that had like they had ColecoVision, they had television, but like that was our first game system that me and my sister played. ColecoVision had television.
What is that?
They were like early systems, and actually I think a television I think they're making like a new console or Coleco, one of them is. But regardless, like they were before like Nintendo, and they were really bad. Like they were like the graphics were blocks, like it was just blocks of characters.
Oh, wow.
And so when Nintendo came out, which is like again I got 2 years after everybody else, that's when you start to see like the characters actually look like something. Like you can make out that's a mushroom.
They actually look kind of human, sort of.
Right, exactly.
There you go.
Like the design, even though it was 8-bit pixels, looked like actual characters and things. And so, but Nintendo was what really started the revolution for all of us.
Yeah, it did. I love that. And then when it came, then I got Super Nintendo, and I was more amazed.
Oh, Super Nintendo was.
What the fuck is this?
That was the first console where like there was heated battles.
Yes.
Like me and my friend, it was always Street
Fighter.
And Arthur actually turned me on to this cool anime.
It's called High Score Girl?
High Score Girl.
Yeah, check it out on Netflix.
Yeah, check it out. It's like it's all about like it's very anime, but there's like it's all about like 8-bit, 16-bit gaming and arcades. But they talk about Street Fighter like a lot of times, Street Fighter 2 and all the variations, like Turbo and all that stuff. But it's a fun cartoon. But that was the thing. Like when we were kids, dude, you go over to your buddy's house and you just try to beat the crap out of him with whatever character, and they would get heated. you know somebody would be angry if they lost like 2 times in a row.
Yeah, especially Street Fighter. Yeah, when that came out, and like I like Super Nintendo because when it came out, it always came with those boxes,
Right.
the little box. And dude, I was even hyped to have that. I was like, dude, that's fucking. I'll pull it out, and the fucking cartridge being there. I'm like, dude, this is sick as fuck.
Yeah, man. I mean, Super Nintendo and all the 16-bit generation, that was like in some ways like the golden age, because like it was really close to the console. I mean, the arcade versions of games. So like it really felt like you had the arcade in your house finally. Because you know, like Nintendo was great and the games were great, but they still looked very like rudimentary. They didn't look like what they are now. But by the time you got the Genesis, again TurboGrafx, and then mostly SNES, that was later. Saturn was later.
I used to play 3DO.
Oh wow.
For a second.
3DO.
They had Gran Turismo in there.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the greatest game in the world.
3DO,
but 3DO, like I think 3DO was around for like a year or two.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, 3DO crashed.
Yeah.
There was a lot of systems that like had promise and sounded exciting, and there was Jaguar, there was 3DO.
Jaguar.
Yeah, there was all these different
I'm
systems.
just like, what are you guys talking
I
about?
know.
This guy, he's only 12 years old, so you don't know.
Arthur didn't have these games when he grew
Yeah.
up. Arthur, like the first game system he
Yes.
had was Xbox
Yeah.
360.
No, it was the first Xbox, Nintendo 64, Game Boy.
All right, Nintendo 64.
Nintendo 64.
But that was like a hand-me-down, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
I had like GoldenEye.
Right.
GoldenEye.
Oh, that's such a good game. Pokemon, like the puzzle, like competitive tournament thing, and then like, what else did I have on it? Yeah, I just played like that and GoldenEye. That was the
For
last
me,
GoldenEye.
like, but going back to SNES, I mean, SNES had like a cavalcade of amazing games. Like you had F-Zero, you had Street Fighter, you had
Double Dragon.
Double Dragon, you had the new
I
Zelda
love
games.
Double Dragon. I played that
Yeah.
shit until I
Double
beat it.
Dragon.
After I beat it, I was like sad because I was like, what the fuck am I doing now? I love this game.
And then the movie came out, nobody ever wanted to play the games. The movie for Double Dragon was terrible.
What kind of game was it?
So it was a 2-player beat 'em up, and so like you would get your buddy and you go around just beating up little
Beat up
guys.
people, yep.
And so it was like that, and then what's the other one? Is it not Fatal Fury? It's Final Fight.
Final Fight. I like the one in the show.
Yeah, so Final Fight and Double Dragon are very similar, except Double Dragon was a little more old school. Like it had it back on NES too. And it was not a good game, but I mean, you know, at that time it was like you could play with your friend.
Yeah.
It was cooperative. You know, but those were the heydays for us. I mean, like going back to that stuff, and then way late in life, like I actually took a break. So for me, what happened was Sega Saturn, going back to Saturn, came out, and I was at a point in my life where I was like, I told my mom, I'm like, I don't know if I want to play games anymore. And
He's like, I'm done with games. I'm
no,
done with this
I really was at this point where I was like, I was doing my own thing. I had other things I was doing. I was like, I'm over games. And my mom, for some reason, was really dead sick. So I think she knew I liked games before that.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, come on, I'll buy you a system. What do you want? And you know, your mom's just offering it. I was like,
yeah.
So sadly, I made the worst choice ever. It was between PlayStation 1 and Sega Saturn. And I didn't know, I wasn't into it. So I was like, I'll just get a Saturn. Worst mistake ever. So if you thought I hated games before, then I got the Saturn, and now I didn't want to play games for like
you're
another
like,
3 years.
I should have got the PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that was the thing. So like, I got the Saturn, and they had like, I think Virtua Fighter was on there, which was great. That was the only good game. I played that and fucking Gex, and then I stopped playing those games altogether. And then sadly, they had some good games I just never got into, like Panzer Dragoon, and they had like Panzer Dragoon, and they had like Knights and some other stuff. But the big games for me were those two, and then after that, I literally stopped playing for another like 2 years. So I had like this gap where I just wasn't into gaming, and then later on, my buddy one day came up to me. He's like, "Have you played N64?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm done with this shit." He's like, "You have to try GoldenEye." And that was the end. He like left me alone. It was weird. He didn't even play with me. He left me in a room with the N64. He's like, "Try it out." And then I started playing GoldenEye, and then that became a thing. And then I got my other friends into it. We started.
GoldenEye was fun.
GoldenEye was the
fun ass game.
Good
was the
story,
first-
good multiplayer.
Well, the multiplayer was the first like 4-player cooperative, but I mean split screen.
I know.
Like first-person shooter on a console, and like that was like the beginning of like me getting back into gaming, you know. And then from there on,
I think what got me back into gaming for a second was Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
I just like Metal Gear, I like Snake, and I like fucking
Yeah.
around and like, just being weird and going around and shooting people.
Being in
and,
the box.
Yeah, and setting off alarms, all shot and running around.
Metal Gear was a great game, and then like when PlayStation 2 came out, they came out with Metal Gear 2.
Yeah.
But the sad thing is they showed out Metal Gear 2 and they're going to release PlayStation 2, and then it didn't come out for like, well, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years later. But when Metal Gear 2 came out, I mean, that was like mind blowing.
Love that game. I love that game.
Like,
still love that game.
It was just the amount of detail, the stuff that you could do in it, like, you know, the way the AI worked. That was a really awesome game. And then, you know, ever since then, now we start to get to where we are today, which is like when you were finally born, Arthur.
Yeah.
And they actually had
Born
systems
in
that
2000.
And like they, you know, but now it's like it's just so different. You have like, you know, so many.
I remember this PlayStation 2 Resident Evil.
Resident Evil was huge.
Resident Evil scared the shit out of me, especially the first 2. I was like, oh shit. I just remember playing that in my friend's room. Like he got, I think it was the first one.
Right.
And I just being in the room, like it was all dark, and I was just like, shit was creeping out. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, Silent Hill also. Silent Hill was another game. They were creepy as fuck back then. But you know what was amazing was like one of the first games that blew me away was ICO, and that was the first time I played a game that felt like art. There was no talking, like you just went around, and I had seen it for a long time and it looked amazing. And then they came out with Shadow of Colossus, and I was like, and I was the same company, it was the same director, Ueda, and like he released both those games, and like that just blew me away because that was the first time I felt like games kind of transcended just being games and became more like an amazing art, emotional experience. And what made me sad is like I thought, wow, all games are gonna be like this, and then you realize no. It's literally like this one dude with this one team that's doing it, and then he released The Last Guardian, and sadly I've been waiting for that game for like 8 years. They announced it like PlayStation 3 and it came out on PlayStation 4, and like that game, sadly it was still cool, but it wasn't up to the level of Shadow and Ico. But Ico was a great game, and it was like, you know, there's a lot of firsts that like every system does, and to me that was like the first game I felt like that really, you know, captured for me personally like a very artistic kind of setting. But you know, there's a lot. I mean, gaming is so big now.
Oh, it's huge, man. Yeah, just the graphic wise and everything. When I see people playing it too, because I don't play too many games now because I have ADHD and I go off the records. But when I see people play the games, it's like, dude, these are fucking ridiculous compared to what I used to play. So it's like,
well, the amount
light years ahead.
The amount of immersion, the amount of storytelling, the amount of detail. I mean, like, you know, like it's incredible to think like how big the 3D worlds are.
Yeah.
And like I find it funny that some people still look down upon gaming. I mean, I guess older people, because it's like now there's also a lot of older people that are playing games too. So
it's become more mainstream.
Yeah, it's become
because
more
of,
mainstream.
You know, Fortnite, all these NBA teams.
Well, I would also say we did a big deal for like that because they would use it in like retirement homes and like for
kids loved it.
Yeah, and kids and old people loved it because you didn't need to know how to press buttons or anything. You just
move.
Yeah, movement. And especially like Wii Sports, that was always like huge. But you know, like I think like now what it is though is like you know, and even I think J.J. Abrams said this, and I give him credit for it. It's like a lot of games start doing better storytelling than a lot of times when you watch like regular media or entertainment, like TV or film, you see like really solid, you know, games that have
storylines.
Yeah, they have good storylines. Sometimes they're corny.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure, Metal Gear stories are always like bizarre, but
crazy.
You know, but you still appreciate it. I mean, the weirdest thing with the Metal Gear 2, going back to that, was like the cutscenes were like 7 hours, dude. Like the endings.
I just remember that one. I think it was a woman who was roped up that was naked in that one room.
Well, the best is when you become the other dude, Raiden or whatever, and he's naked, just like doing cartwheels.
It's so weird.
And you're like, and
who did this?
But it was great when the guy starts flipping out because he's talking to this general and he starts going crazy. He starts going like, the purple worm is gonna attack at midnight, and you're like, what the fuck is he talking about?
That brings back memories of playing that shit in my room, just like, oh shit, I'm freaking out right now.
Yeah. No, I mean those games were amazing, dude. Like, but the amount of detail and story and everything, the design, the voice acting, it's just gotten to a point where it's like, it's rivaling movies, you know, and it's rivaling like movies, TV, you know.
Yeah.
And also, you look at it and you go, I spend $60 on a game, and I might play for like with Destiny, we've been playing forever.
Yeah. So so let's go get to Destiny now.
Yeah.
How did you guys get into Destiny 1 and doing all that? Just
I got into Destiny because I wanted to play with Bobby and Steve.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Straight up. Yeah, no denying. I was playing.
There's the truth.
Yeah, before Xbox, I was mostly playing, you know, stuff on computer. I was playing Counter-Strike and like
Counter-Strike.
Killing Floor.
All those anime pillow games.
No, I
Yeah.
don't play that shit. Fucking bro. But I was just playing games on on Steam and stuff.
Yeah.
And League of Legends. And then
League of Legends.
once I became friends with Bobby, he's like, "Oh, get an Xbox and you can play Destiny with us."
But you also played phone games with me.
Oh yeah. The first game that I played with Bobby was Clash of Clans.
Clash of Clans.
He had a clan. It was called the Comedy Store. He had a couple famous comedians in the clan that I didn't know at the time.
So you're saying Bobby's not famous?
He is famous. Shut up.
He is famous.
So that's how I first started playing with Bobby, and then Bobby left. I would say maybe like towards the very beginning of when they added Clan Wars,
Right.
where you and your clan would battle against other clans and try and destroy their bases. Because I just remember like messaging Bobby and Steve like, "Hey, dude, you gotta set up your defense system like this, so then when they come in with lava hounds, your air defense will kill them."
Lava hounds.
Lava
Is that
hounds.
what we're talking about?
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's because like you have your home base, your town hall,
Okay.
and like you need to protect your
It's a defense, tower defense kind of game.
Yeah.
It's for nerds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's for nerds. But yeah, it's a good game.
Then Bobby's like addicted to those kind of games, right? So you guys would play that.
Dude, I mean, the last time I hung out with Bobby, I mean, he's on a different game now, but like a while back, like maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, he's playing like SimCity, like Build It or whatever.
Oh, God damn.
Jesus.
I never got into
I can't imagine.
I just couldn't get into it. I played it like a couple times and I was like, I can't fucking do this.
I can't believe how much money people will pay on a game.
Oh, for sure.
He's like,
Yeah.
"Yo, check out he whips out his iPad and he's like, "Yo, check out my town. It says Bobby, it says Tiger Belly right here, this and that. I got this building,
He's
this."
buying.
Yeah,
He spends a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm good. I can't.
I think Griffin plays some too, but I mean either way, like, yeah, I mean those guys. That's how you got into it with us.
Yeah.
And then what happened with us is like for the rest of us, we were playing. Like I said, so Steve and Bob were playing and Griffin, and they needed another person, so I started playing with them, and we actually had a lot of fun because we would play late nights and do like raids and what's the other one? When you do like the big missions. It's not the raid. It's the
strike.
Nightfall.
Nightfall, yeah.
Yeah, we would do like these nightfalls and strikes, and yeah, we were just really having fun. The funny thing was they didn't play multiplayer. Bob, Steve, and Griffin.
Oh, okay. So they just played like single player.
They just played like.
When you play the stuff where you kill, like you just shoot.
You're
okay.
shooting enemies.
That's
it.
They didn't play with teams at all.
They didn't play online against other people, and then like.
Until you guys met Coke.
No, because I was also big
Shout out to Coke.
Yeah, shout out to Coke. No, but I was also big on that. So I finally got like Steve to start doing it with me and Coke. So I was like, dude, come on, I'll be fun. And so when we started playing that, but Coke came in because he had met Griffin online and they had been playing like just randomly.
Yeah.
And Coke's like, oh dude, you're they realized they were like Instagram friends. Just random.
Yeah, like semi-famous or famous.
Well, I don't know, whatever they are. But the point is like they became Instagram friends, and then they hooked up, and so then he started playing with us. We all started playing, and now we're all fast friends. But I mean, it was fun, man, especially when it came out. But sadly, since the release of Destiny 2, it's been a slow trickle of like it hasn't been as good as Destiny 1. So Destiny 1, they did a great job of building out the game.
So what are they missing? Are they missing anything from Destiny 1 that should be in Destiny 2?
So
or what you like?
what happened was, I came in later into the game for D1.
Okay.
But after I was like well established, and I was like, because when I bought it, they had like I bought the bundle with all the DLCs, and they gave you like a boost so you can be like a higher level meme.
Oh, okay, good.
And like it was great. Like, for example, if you play Destiny and in D1, when you wanted to play Crucible, you could choose exactly what game mode you wanted to play. Whether it be like capture the zones, or like what was the one where you like dunk the ball in?
Oh yeah, Rift.
They had a whole bunch of things. When it came out with D2, it was just random playlists for Crucible. You couldn't choose what you wanted to do.
Yeah, here's what was stupid. So D1, you're building up your character, you're getting all this armor. It takes hours because you got to go get all this stuff, like get all this stuff to build all this stuff. And then they're like, okay, we're gonna release a new game, which is basically the game you're just playing, but we're gonna take all of that away. And then we're gonna take away player choice from like different map modes and game modes.
That sucks.
And so it's like basically they stripped it down. They gave us a new one. They went for the casual gamers, so people that like to grind. Which, to be honest, I'm not big on that, but people do like that. They took all
So
of
you're
that
saying
away.
you have to try harder?
Well, no, it's more just like they did the opposite, where like they made it so that like anybody can pick up and play, but they gave you less choice, and they gave you less like cool stuff. And so by the time like D2 came out, they lost a huge swath of gamers, you know, that were on D1.
Yeah, people were pissed. They're like, "Where's the competitiveness? Where's where's the worth of grinding?"
Right.
I mean, they recently added back, but it's still not the same.
Yeah.
In the first year of D2, when you would get exotics just like that, boom, 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 boom.
Exotics are like weapons that are hard to get.
Yeah, it was so easy. Or gear, gear and weapons. And then they just recently added it back. So now whenever we get an exotic, we're like screaming like, "Oh shit, I got an exotic!" Like, whoa.
Yeah, so I mean, so basically now that D2's comes out, like, you know, but also everybody's been doing their own thing. So like, you know, Steve's been really busy with his own stuff, his podcast and his music. Griffin's been, I mean, Griffin does get on a lot, but he is also...
It seems like he got on YouTube recently. I've seen that. A lot of people hop on there.
Yeah. So we're going to definitely be doing more YouTube sessions.
YouTube.
But, you know, like, he's also been busy with, you know, shows, comedy. Bobby, I mean, I'm sure anybody that watches Tiger Belly knows what's up with Bobby and gaming. So that's just the way it is. But the rest of us, we still play, and Coke and us, but we all started switching it up too. We've been playing Black Ops. We've been playing, the one we got to play is Soul Calibur because nobody will play with me. They're all scared of me.
Yeah, I never played Fortnite.
Yeah, no. Fortnite is, no.
I play it, I just don't like it. I hate Fortnite.
We don't like it either because I'm not a big Minecraft guy, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like Minecraft mixed with Black Ops.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I don't, or PUBG,
I don't think I could ever see him, Griffin, or Steve building shit. I'm not saying they're dumb, but I just don't think they could. I just don't think they.
You see, when you say I'm not saying,
they're not really dumb, but you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. that obviously means we're dumb. No, but the thing is, no, because we don't like, and Coke doesn't either. We don't like the building aspect. It's. I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but the reality, the reason Fortnite did so well is it was free. You know, like anybody can pick up and play. It's on your phone.
There's 8 billion kids dancing like that.
Right,
I see it on the streets all day long.
I'll give them credit on the fact that it's a really playable game.
Yeah,
it's really colorful. It's really, you know, accessible.
Easy to get to.
Yeah.
Easy to play.
So like, I'll give it that. But as far as like for, I guess people like us that are a little older
people.
Yeah, it's not. It's like I don't want to do 10 things at once. It'd be like, you know, baking a cake and like shooting at it.
It really is a lot. You're like building up walls and ramps and stuff.
I can't multitask 35 times.
Yeah.
I can do like 2, maybe 1, and I'm done.
Right. Well, and when you see the end, like the end game of that, when you see dudes shooting each other, they're building freaking towers in the sky.
Yeah, they keep going up and up, and you're like, dude, what the fuck is this?
The builder.
Yeah. They're fucking shooting bombs, blowing it up. Dude, they're building it again. It's like, when's this shit gonna end? It's fucking tiring.
No, I mean, you know, but I give them credit. I mean, it's a smart move. And kids love it, and it's, you know, I'm not gonna take away from the game, but it's just not something we like or we're good at. I mean, you know.
Yeah, there's parents paying people to train their kids so they can go pro.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, I gotta wrap this up before this shit shuts off. It's called DSLR.
Right.
Half an hour of bullshit. But anyways, I'd like to thank Arthur and Craig for this.
No, thank you for Nathaniel.
Anyways, I'll be filming more tonight at what is it? Leilani's album release and Stevie Weeby. Yep, all day I'm filming more tonight. So I think these two right here, WFE, check them out. Where's Fireteam Ever? And links will be in the description. We out of here.
Later. Thank you guys.